Alright, welcome once again to this month's show on What is Your Story with Dr. Robert. Also remember, once again, we are back. This is a program that happens every Sunday at 6 p.m. only at Romy TV Africa at Dr. Robert Osoro.
So my brother, so you say that you had started this.
Ulipiga ikaenda kwa wrong number.
Yeah.
Good morning, my viewer. Welcome to Romy TV Africa. This is newspaper review, and I am your host Regina Mwangi. Follow me at Instagram, at Facebook at Regina Samuel, and at Twitter at Regina Samuel. Today I'm joined with my fellow colleague. Welcome to the show, Mr.
Thank you so much. My name is Emmanuel Onyango, and welcome to today's newspaper review.
Now, today's delineation is a bit, it's not a bit more of politics, but we're going to analyze it. And we will begin with our first story, Prime Minister by whatever name. You guys understand we have a Prime Minister?
Do we?
We do. Was appointed. So he vehemently opposed the creation of the office of Prime Minister in the run-up to the August 9 elections. Yet last month he nominated seasoned politician Musalia Mudavadi as his Prime Cabinet Secretary. The action by President William Ruto begs a host of questions on the relevance, operational or political, of this office in government. Is the position of PM, that is Prime Minister, implied by varied terms, a crucial office in facilitating services to the electorate, or as it a mere campaign tool for winning votes? Alternatively, does the office complement government efforts to political inclusivity at the top leadership? Now, answers to these questions must have partly persuaded the president to change his tune on the PM slot. Now, I practically understand we have a Prime Minister. He was appointed when the CSS were appointed. But again, I think there's a clash of roles between Gachagua and Mudavadi, because their roles, they kind of seem alike. So first, my question is, what is this Prime Minister going to do? By the way he was appointed, was it constitutional? Did they follow a certain protocol for him to be appointed as the Prime Minister? So, what's your take on that?
President Ruto decided to award Moses Musalia Mudavadi the position because of his loyalty to the team. Okay. So maybe when he was giving, you can see that he gave both Musalia and Wetangula the slots of Prime Minister and parliamentary positions.
Alright, welcome once again to this month's show on What is Your Story with Dr. Robert. Also remember, once again, we are back. This is a program that happens every Sunday at 6 p.m. only at Romy TV Africa at Dr. Robert Osoro.
So my brother, so you say that you had started this.
Ulipiga ikaenda kwa wrong number.
Yeah.
Oh, good morning, my viewer. Welcome to Romy TV Africa. This is newspaper review, and I am your host Regina Mwangi. Follow me at Instagram, at Facebook at Regina Samuel, and at Twitter at Regina Samuel. Today I'm joined with my fellow colleague. Welcome to the show, Mr.
Thank you so much. My name is Emmanuel Onyango, and welcome to today's newspaper review.
Now, today's delineation is a bit, it's not a bit more of politics, but we're going to analyze it. And we will begin with our first story, Prime Minister by whatever name. You guys understand we have a Prime Minister?
Do we?
We do. Was appointed. So he vehemently opposed the creation of the office of Prime Minister in the run-up to the August 9 elections, yet last month he nominated seasoned politician Musalia Mudavadi as his prime cabinet secretary. The action by President William Ruto begs a host of questions on the relevance, operational or political, of this office in government. Is the position of PM, that is Prime Minister, implied by varied terms, a crucial office in facilitating services to the electorate, or as it a mere campaign tool for winning votes? Alternatively, does the office complement government efforts to political inclusivity at the top leadership? Now, answers to these questions must have partly persuaded the president to change his tune on the PM slot. Now, I practically understand we have a prime minister. He was appointed when the CSs were appointed. But again, I think there's a clash of roles between Gachagua and Mudavadi, because their roles, they kind of seem alike. So first, my question is, what is this prime minister going to do? By the way he was appointed, was it constitutional? Did they follow a certain protocol for him to be appointed as the prime minister? So, what's your take on that?
Actually, I think it's because President Ruto decided to award Moses Musalia Mudavadi the position because of his loyalty to the team.
Okay.
So maybe when he was giving, you can see that he gave both Musalia and Wetangula the slots of prime minister and parliamentary positions, just to show his loyalty. And when you come to see that there's a clash between the DP and the prime minister at the moment, this is it's because of their work that they kinda have similar work, but because you can see this is before the cabinet secretary gives out the issues to the president, they shall pass through Moses Wetangula first. Musalia Madividi. Musalia Mudavadi first.
Okay.
So I think the situation in this matter is because they see that the work is going to be tough for them.
Okay.
So they had to have the similar kind of work so that they can work together.
Okay. So, unveiling his cabinet on Tuesday, September 27th, for instance, the president explained that Mudavadi's roles would involve assisting the president and deputy president in coordinating and supervising government ministries and state departments. But except for the clarification by the president that the Amani National Congress leader is the third highest ranking officer in the executive, a thin line differentiates the roles assigned to Mudavadi and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. So according to this statement, I think their roles are kind of the same.
They are.
You know, it's just a thin line between their roles,
Yeah.
which means they practically the same. So I'm wondering, is this going to cause some commotion or some disturbance between the two leaders, the Deputy President and the Prime Minister?
Most likely it might cause a misunderstanding between the two, because when you say that they have it's a thin margin of the work that they are doing, because the deputy president was given a role to work with the CSS, and also you can see that the prime minister also is given the same work. He's the main man to the cabinet secretary. So I think even if before the activities that are undertaken are supposed to reach the president, they shall pass through the prime minister, then to the DP, then to the president.
Alright, now go to the comment section and tell us what you think about that. Is the DP and the prime minister going to clash because of the similarity between their roles? You tell us what's your take on that. Now, on our next story, male losers in August polls married second wives for peace of mind. Wow, this is amazing. Now, male aspirants who lost other spoils married second wives to get peace of mind, while women who lost have endured constant physical assaults from their spouses, according to a report by the Gender Violence Recovery Center. Some of the findings of the report, which is still being compiled, indicate that men got second wives due to the constant blame and bickering of their wives who accused them of depleting family resources. No results to show. On the other hand, women who lost in the polls have endured physical assaults from their husband for campaigning even at night and even being supported financially, but still lost. According to Alberta Wambua, Executive Director of Gender-Based Violence Recovery Center, the cases are still being recorded and final figures will be released upon the final compilation. She did not indicate the timelines. Now, first we have this issue of wasted family resources, whereby these guys tried their luck and used some resources and they ended up failing. But again, now all the loss is on their side, because first they lost the seats they were vying for, then they lost the resources they used, be it money, be it material things. So now I'm wondering why there should be assault after loss, because I think your number one fan or supporter should be your party, right?
Yeah.
And when you take a risk of vying for position, you know that is risking, and without risk you can never know what you're capable of. So me, I don't think there was a reason to really like assault those who lost. You know, like maybe the husband or the wife is the one who lost. So I don't think the other partner had the right to like judge, you know, or like blame them for losing, because there's always winning and there's always losing. And as much as you take a risk of buying, it was for the sake of the family. So I think they should, you know, tell them there's next time. Because I don't think there's blame game here. Okay, hawange win water, they couldn't have won all of them. There was one person who was supposed to lose, and that person lost. So I don't think, as much as they lost their family resources, I don't think there was a point of blaming them. Because I think as partners and as close people, they should be their number one supporters and tell them, you know, there's next time. So what do you think about this story?
I think these families, they don't understand the political game.
Yeah.
Because when you see that, for example, you and I were dating, then you support me, and we lose everything just because of politics.
Yeah.
It shows that for you only targeted the money that you are going to get from the government, and the government. Actually, the government, when you lose, it does not mean it's the end of everything. Most of the people have lost. They come back again. They try. They win, and the money still comes back.
Yeah.
For the spouses, I think their main target was just to see if the money will come back to them, and they all had the mentality of they are going to win. Yeah. Not everybody is going to support you.
True.
So if they start to misbehave like that, they say that the families, the people have wasted the resources, they are not trustworthy to their partners. Yeah.
True. Okay, but do you think for the women side who are vying for these positions, and then their husbands are like, you know, you are spending so much time on the night campaigning, used a lot of my resources. Do you think these men have the right to like judge these women of theirs?
Aside from politics, you can see that even in relationship, normal relationships, you can see that men mostly see women as people who use a lot of money.
Yeah.
And for at this moment, I think the men are the ones who are more frustrated because their wives maybe lost the resources that the man was doing so much for her to get the position, but they ended up losing, and the man is anaumia ndani akijua pesa yangu ilifanyika hivi, pesa yetu yenye nilikuwa nafanyia hivi na hivi niliweka kwako, na sasa signing. It's, you know, politics is just like betting. If you win, you get the money back. If you lose, you lose everything. So I don't think it's the right thing these guys are doing.
No.
before they went to this politics, they should have sat down and talked. Anaelewana. I think hata wakuwa wameelewana.
True.
If kama wangekuwa wameelewana, it haingefika hapa.
So failure is the road to success, and always remember to support your partners despite the loss in everything, because you can never win in this life without taking risks. Now, on our third story, we are going to talk about how kafala system in Arab Gulf states is leading to the death of Kenyan girls. I understand kafala system is this system of going to the Middle East to work, right?
Yeah.
Now, in 2014, the government attempted to close girls' house help trade due to reported abuse of domestic workers. But after a few months, it was reopened for a dubious reason. Dr. Alfred Mutua, who has been picked as the next cabinet secretary for foreign affairs and diaspora, must streamline this trade or stop it. Eunice Wanjiku is long dead and forgotten. In the Kenyan records at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, she's just another name. By the time she died at the hands of her employer in Saudi Arabia, Wanjiku, who was 23, had lost most of her liberties. In death, they had taken away her last liberty, her name. After that, she was identified, unidentified, unknown. Her family only learned about Wanjiku's death 2 years later after her demise. Tortured by her employer, humiliated, raped, and later killed, Wanjiku is today a statistic. For the love of diaspora remittances, now amounting to $3,718 in 2021, the government has turned a blind eye to the multi-billion shilling house help trade as long as the dollars can flow to the coffers. In 2014, the government attempted to close girls' house help trade due to the reported abuse of domestic workers, but after a few months, it was reopened for a dubious reason. Now, this Wanjiku's story is a bit sad, because before her death, she was tortured, she was humiliated, she was raped, and now all that remains for Wanjiku remains to be a statistic. We only remember her as a victim. We only remember her as one of our culprits, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay, this Gulf house help trade is still on. I see people going there. I see our young ladies, especially ladies, going to Saudi Arabia, going to Qatar, and other Middle East countries. Now, my question is Kenya not in a position to offer at least these small hustles for our girls? Because I don't think these girls should go to Middle East for modern slavery. Because that is modern slavery. They are going there to be tortured. Because as much as you're working, you're being humiliated. You're being given tasks that are even beyond your power. Some days back, I was hearing a story that a girl was being, told to go and feed a snake. A snake is enclosed in a certain room, a private room, where no one goes there except the employer or the head of that house. And then so you are told to go and feed this snake, and it's really a big snake. Now, it came to my attention and to my understanding that these people even rear snakes in their houses. They are so engulfed in mysterious secret society issues. Because how can you even enclose a snake in your house and ask the house help to go and feed that snake? Those are so strange things that are happening. And my urge to girls, to our Kenyan ladies, go to your countries. Sorry about that. Work in Kenya, don't go to Middle East countries.
The issue is they don't learn actually. For me, I think they don't learn, because when you hear these stories every day, every single day, you hear stories of being the young ladies over there being mistreated, and you still continue going there. You see, these people don't learn at all.
Yeah.
And the Kenyan government, I've heard about these stories, they don't do anything about it. Kila siku utapata kwenye mitandao watu wanakuja wanasema mumsaidie, sijui amefanyiwa hivi.
Yeah.
And the government of Kenya just say, yes, we'll take care of this story.
Yeah.
It's only the words that are going to say, we'll take care of this story. they never take care of it.
Yeah.
And these young ladies of nowadays, they look for work abroad because it's the Kenyan government's responsibility to look for them
Sure.
and give them work. Because actually I'm waiting for the current government,
Yeah.
the Hustler Nation government. Let me see if they are going to give out the work and the jobs that they said they are going to offer for these young people. Because when you see she was a 23-year-old lady. She has no work. She decided to go abroad.
To find a life.
Akaenda huko akakuwa mistreated,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden she's just becoming a story. She's just being talked about. She was.
Yeah.
And yet there are some other ladies right now, they have had this story,
Yeah.
but they still go there.
Yeah.
They don't want to learn from the same story they have had.
Sure.
So let the Kenyan government take charge of this story and wapeane kazi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's not a laughing matter, but
Okay, my director is making me laugh.
Director,
behave,
please.
behave kindly. My viewer, we are going to the next story. How Nairobi has sunk into lawlessness. Okay.
to the Kanjos of Kenya.
Nairobi City, Kenya's capital, and the commercial and financial hub of Eastern Africa, has turned into a complete mess as lawlessness reigns across the city under the sun. The capital has been turned into a boda parking boys and hawkers paradise with the three groupings turning Nairobi city center into their small fiefdom. It is a mix of rules in the city as hawkers, parking boys and boda operators have their own set of rules while the country government has different ones. The county government has different ones. Okay, the laxity of election campaigns and the transition period have provided a perfect combination for the group to thrive as the new administration of Governor Johnson Sakaja finds its footing. Okay, I'm understanding by this story that the boda guys, the parking boys, these hawkers, they're living according to their own set of rules. They have turned our city into their own home. They live the way they want. If it's smoking, they smoke the way they want. If it's drinking, they drink the way they want. They have no respect for the county. Because as much as you're smoking and drinking your stuff, there are the right places to do that. You don't just go doing that on the streets, okay?
Yeah.
Are you laughing? So, what do you think about this story?
It's the boda people. Hawa watu wa boda hawajai kuwa na rules, hawajai follow rules.
Okay.
Even if when you come to the roads, you can see that they don't follow even the road rules. Wataenda tu kwa barabara, waendeshe pikipiki venye wanavyotaka. Watu wanaweza endesha on the wrong side of the road. By the end of the day, if there's an accident happening, they are going to blame other people and not blame themselves. And when the Kenyan government, I remember there was this story when the time they were taking the bodas, if they are not registered, they are not going to be driven, and they were not even supposed to enter into the CBD. But right now you can just still go to town, the Nairobi CBD, and you'll find them there, just riding their bikes in whatever way, and this causes a lot of commotion by day in the city, whereby you can see that people are also frightened because you walk, you just find a boda person just passing out anyhowly, and this causes a lot of commotion in town. And the Kenyan government should consider this matter very serious. They should go to this is a capital city. It's representing Kenya, and when you see that the boda people are just misbehaving in the middle of the CBD, it's not the right thing to do. So the government of Sakaja should come in place and see how they are going to help these boda people. If they are going to do it, they should just find a way that they are going to control this movement of boda inside the CBD.
For them, any time is hawking time as they report to the city center as early as 10 a.m., taking up even spaces in front of shops. So do you think that, okay, I'm putting this in this scenario that this is a hawker who has come all she has is what she's selling, right? Maybe it's the Tumba clothes. And maybe she doesn't even have money to rent a shop. So she comes and pours her clothes in front of this certain
This
shop
is where
here.
the government comes in. They
Okay.
should open a market for them.
For them.
Because when you see that these people are trying to find something to eat,
Yeah.
maybe
They're
they
trying
have to pay their rents,
Yeah.
and the government, you'll find that these people go there and find director. So
Our director today is misbehaving.
So
Director,
this-
give us a humble time, kindly.
you can find that these people come with their clothes, put them in the middle of town, and the kanjo, they still come and chase them away.
Okay.
Yet the government has not even created a space for them where they can go and sell their clothes, these mitumba clothes, or even hawking any other things. So for me, I think I'll blame the government for not taking care of this situation. Yeah.
Alright, now there's a bit interesting story here. The next story is saying legal clinics to address inequality in access to justice. Okay, these are legal clinics who want to address inequality in access to their justice. Now, Collins Ouma and Jacinta Mumbi Irungu would both be languishing in prison after they were falsely accused of robbery with violence by two officers in separate incidents in Nairobi. Had a local organization had not offered them free legal aid. After spending more than a year each in remand, they got help from International Justice Mission and were set free by the court on December 2014 and May 26, 2022 respectively. Collins had been accused of stealing police officers' pocket radio and cell phone along Moi Avenue in Nairobi on the night of January 7, 2013, while Mumbi had been accused of stealing a vehicle by officers who were investigating the car's theft. The two are the victims of shoddy investigations by officers who took advantage of their inability to defend themselves from onset and paid the bail terms demanded by the court to secure temporary freedom as the cases continued. They represent a growing section of the population who believe that not all Kenyans are equal before the law. Okay, according to this story, these are innocent Kenyans, and because they had no right, or they had the inability to defend themselves, they ended up in jail, and they really didn't have some power. You know, Kenya, we go with power. We go with who you know. We go with how much you are known in the rank. You know, how much people honor you and respect you. And because they were not in that position, they were just ordinary Kenyans, they ended up in jail. I'm still afraid that Kenya is still a victim of corruption. An issue we have fought over decades, and it never seems to be solved. So, what can you say?
Kenya is a victim of corruption. Huh? In this way, we can put it in this way.
Okay.
You can find that there's a politician who maybe has stolen 5 billion Kenyan shillings from the government.
All right.
But they're still going to let them free.
Okay.
But once a normal civilian just comes and steals a chicken over there, steals 100 bob or maybe 5,000 Kenya shillings,
Okay.
that person is going to be locked up for years. So this Kenyan government I think they mostly consider those people who have a lot of money. And how much do you know these people?
Okay.
Because you can't tell me that, for example, if I was well known and I have a lot of money and I go to the court, I'm being accused of stealing other millions from the Kenyan government.
Sure.
I'll go to court and they'll just give me a fine and set me free.
Yeah.
But when it comes to another person who is poor out there and he has been found stealing, or maybe he has just pickpocketed someone, they'll end up taking that person to court and jail him for years,
Yeah.
just because of some little money. So this Kenyan government is all about it's all about corruption, and I'm just waiting also to see the government. The current governments have all been saying that we are going to take care of these corruption issues, but there's nothing they're doing about it.
All right.
Right now you come in the morning, polisi amekusimamisha, but you just find them 100 bob wamekupea hapo, 200 bob umepewa. So I don't think this corruption issue is going to end in Kenya. It's going to go for days and days and days. I can't expect it to end very soon.
Okay, your final remarks?
My final remarks is, dear Kenyans, please stay safe, avoid corruption, be the first person to control the issue of corruption. Don't wait the government to take care of this matter for you. Yeah.
All right. Change is inevitable, and if you really want change, change must start with you. For my girls in Kenya, remember, modern slavery is not a really good thing. So kindly work in Kenya. You know, there are a lot of people hustling and earning livings from little hustles. So you don't have to go and be a slave in other countries. Kindly stick to your country and let the love live for you. It has been newspaper review, and it being a holiday, we wish you a very good day. See you next time. I've been your host, Regina Mwangi. Find me at all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Regina Samuel.
I was your co-host, Emmanuel Onyango, and thank you for today, and may you have a blessed day.
Alright, welcome once again to this month's show on What is Your Story with Dr. Robert. Also remember, once again, we are back. This is a program that happens every Sunday at 6 p.m. only at Romi TV Africa at Dr. Robert Osoro.
So my brother, so you say that you had started this
Ulipiga